I have a very grim Valentine for you. Very, very grim, in fact. I'm telling the robber bridegroom tonight on Fucked Up Fairy Tales with Liz. Ding! Once upon a time, there was a miller who had a babylicious daughter. Like any good father, he wanted to make sure that she was taken care of and provided for. But, like any shitty father, and we know how terrible millers are to their daughters in grim fairy tales, his parameters were basically, as long as he's rich. So when a rich guy came calling, Dad didn't find any fault with him. Did he do any real digging? Hard to say. But he sure didn't listen to his daughter because she was extremely skeeved out by the guy. Her father went ahead and arranged the engagement, but the girl decided to spend as little time with her fiancé as possible. And one day, when her suitor called on her, he confronted her about it. "Babe, how come you never visit me?" "I don't know where you live." "Oh, is that all? My house is just in the middle of the creepy forest." "Of course it is." "Well, how on earth would I be able to find it? The creepy woods are notoriously dark and murky." "Next Sunday I want you to come over to visit. I'm having a little dinner party that day. I'll leave you a trail of ashes to help you find your way." Ashes? Not at all creepy. When the day arrived, the miller's daughter decided to make her own backwards path home. She dropped peas and lentils along her way as she followed the trail of ashes deeper into the woods. It was dark by the time she got to her fiancé's home, a solitary house in the thickest part of the wood. No one was home. This is a murder house, am I right?
You bet your ass it is! Get the fuck out of here, girl!
I think I'm gonna walk through the whole house, just to make sure.
Seriously?
The girl surveyed the entire house, but she found no one there until she reached the cellar. An old woman was sitting there, and she was very distressed. "Does a rich creep live here? He's my fiancé."
Listen to me, girl, and listen good. You think you're about to walk down the aisle to a happily ever after. But this here is a murder house, and I know you'll meet your end. Your fiancé and his gang of cannibals will capture you, slaughter you, cook you, and eat you. They make me do the cooking. But I'm about to save your ass. Go and hide behind that barrel. When the robbers are asleep, we'll make our escape."
And just as the girl was concealed behind the barrel, her bridegroom arrived home. The tale concludes in part 2. The girl's fiancé came home with a group of men. They were drunk and dragging along a helpless woman who was screaming and crying. They forced the girl to drink 3 glasses of wine, one red, one white, and one yellow, and she fell down dead. At that, they butchered her into pieces and salted the flesh. The miller's daughter witnessed it all from her hiding spot. "Looky here, the girl's got a ring on her finger. Looks kinda nice, too. Seems stuck on, though. So chop off her fucking finger." The man took an axe to the victim's hand with such gusto that the finger flew out of sight, and it landed in the bride's lap. Great, where the fuck did it end up? Check behind that barrel.
For fuck's sake, that finger isn't gonna run away on you.
Eat your cursed stew and worry about it in the morning. The old woman took advantage of the men's drunken state and drugged them with a sleeping potion. Once the men were laid out and snoring, the girl and the old woman picked their way through the sleeping bodies and escaped. The ash trail had blown away with the wind, but the peas and lentils the girl had dropped had miraculously sprouted, and they gave the woman a path back to the mill. When they arrived home, the girl told her father all that had happened. The family kept quiet about it and allowed the wedding day to proceed. The miller invited his entire extended family to the event, and as they sat around, they all shared stories. The bride stayed silent. "Come along, my dear. Tell us a story like everyone else has." "All right, I'll tell you about a dream I had. I walked alone in the woods until I came to an empty old house. A bird in a cage sang, 'Turn back or be killed.' But don't fear, it was only a dream. I walked through the rooms to the cellar, where an old woman miserably sat. She told me the girls who walk in don't walk out. But don't fear, it was only a dream. I hid behind a large barrel, and my beloved came home with his friends. They dismembered a girl and salted her flesh. But don't fear, it was only a dream. The men found a ring on her finger, and removed the finger from hand. And how do I know this, my pale-faced love? Because this is the finger, you son of a bitch!" The bridegroom tried to escape, but the guests held him fast, and the man and his band of murdery men were executed for their crimes. The end. Happy Valentine's Day! Thanks for that request. I like that one. You've got some ladies helping ladies. I mean, eventually, we don't know how many women that old woman let die first. We've got a smart heroine, other than when she walked into the house and decided to go down to the cellar, beginning the entire trope of horror, I'm assuming. Is there an old definition for robber that means murderer? Because I don't think I'd have called it the robber bridegroom. I'm thinking murdery bridegroom or cannibal bridegroom. It's got some zing in it. Check out my profile for more tales. Request ones you don't see in the comments. And thanks for watching.
Fucked up fairy tales with Liz. Ding!